The First Lady of New York Radio, Joan Hamburg. Entertaining and informative. Talk Radio 77 WABC.
The one thing we've had a lot of trouble during this pandemic is laughing. I think I forgot to laugh. And then I heard that Chelsea Handler, with a tour, Vaccinated and Horny, is coming to our area. In fact, Chelsea, one of the great comedians, actors, writers, you name it, television host, activist, producer, she does it all. And she's taken us on a great ride over the years. She's going to be at the Beekman Theater in Manhattan, October 16th and 17th. If you want to go to Atlantic City, you can see her there on the 26th. She's in Foxwoods on the 20th. And she's all over the country. Chelsea, welcome. We're all excited about this tour. And you keep us laughing. Was it hard during the pandemic when you started touring?
Well, it was very, the first part of the pandemic was a little difficult because, we all thought it was going to be about 2 or 3 weeks, and then it turned into, 2 years. It's coming up.
Right, 2 years.
It was hard because my sister invaded my house with her 3 adult children in Los Angeles. They came and lived with me. Which is,
Goodbye,
I've worked
right?
very hard to remain. Yeah, well, I've worked very hard to remain childless and single for many years. So only to be invaded by my sister and her poor decision-making skills and having 3 children. So they invaded my house. And then about 3 months into that, I decided to leave because I couldn't take it anymore.
You're kidding.
I was like, no, too many kids, too much drama. This is exactly what I didn't want to sign up for. So I took off and I went skiing in Canada for the year. But yeah, I just started my tour. It's been an amazing experience to be the reason why so many people are coming back together. And, being that reason for a lot of people, this is their first time in large audiences and crowds, and we're having safe shows. And I'm pretty excited. It's been awesome.
But I'm curious, what do you find people are laughing about? And you care about so many things. What did you care about enough to incorporate in this major stand-up tour?
My experiences trying to date men during COVID. My experiences I had to buy my own COVID health test and basically administer COVID tests to people, potential suitors in my backyard. I'd invite them in my backyard, give them a nasal swab, and then it would take about 30 minutes to run the diagnosis. And in that time, if they said anything stupid, like masks don't work, or if I saw a pinky ring, I would just come back out and say, "You're COVID. You're positive. You have COVID," and skedaddle. So that was a good way to eliminate a lot of the riffraff. I care about women being treated respectfully. I care about explaining to men why they keep prolonging a conversation that could have ended 2 years ago by just apologizing and saying we're sorry as a collective species. Like, we're sorry to women. I want to help men and women get back together instead of having this cancel culture go on for eons. I care about the fact that my dogs have no respect for me. And spending my first 6 months alone with them during COVID was a real wake-up call about how bad my parenting actually is, since they prefer my housekeeper over me any day of the week. It's not
and
like
the audience responds like and they're ready to laugh again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm keeping it light and going back to my OG stand-up material. It's not about politics. It's not about getting, it's about bringing people together and reminding us that laughter is the absolute best medicine.
You've got your podcast, too, now, Dear Chelsea. And how are you fitting all that in? The stand-up where you're traveling all over the place and the podcast. How is that going?
It's going great. I'm doing an advice podcast based on my experience with therapy. I absorbed a lot of information and I read tons and tons of books about meditation, about impulsivity, about changing your kind of negative thought patterns. And I thought, who better to give, unsolicited, I've been giving unsolicited advice my whole career. So it's an opportunity to actually give advice to real people and real callers who call in. So it's turned into an actual real advice show, and I love it. And people call me with updates and make life changes, and it's been great. So yeah, that's been it's my own little Dear Abby.
When I think about you and the way you connect with an audience, And, I have a lot of friends who are comedians or comics who are doing stand-up, and it's so hard. And women seem to have emotionally a harder time with stand-up than a lot of guys. But you do it. And I kept thinking, how come Chelsea now, she needs to be back on daytime TV? Do you ever think of that now?
No, I don't. That was a long period of my life where I did shows every day. It went on for about 10 years between my Netflix show, my E! show.
Right.
So, I don't have anything in the works for that. What I have next is my last book, Life Will Be the Death of Me, which was my last #1 New York Times bestseller, is being turned into a TV show, and it's and starring me, and it's going to be like a Curb Your Enthusiasm type vibe. So that's going to be my next TV project.
That would be great. And, from your point of view, what makes a good guest? Like a lot of these shows, you look at them and there are some guests who, and others that can barely say a word.
People who have, are not going to be overthinking what they're saying. We live in a world where, oversharing is part of our culture. So it's helpful to have people on who are willing to share and be real people, not just promote a project. So that's why I enjoy talking to real people so much on the podcast, because there's none of that celebrity nonsense, about being protective over your personal life and not wanting to say this or that.
And how is your personal life? Are you still in love?
I'm in love, yes. I'm finally in love. And that means if I'm in love, everybody's going to be in love. Because if I found somebody that doesn't annoy the living crap out of me, there's hope for everyone.
Well, you know what? From your mouth to God's ear, right? Everyone would love to be in love. Now, at one point, I think I heard you say that you had developed comedies. And I don't remember if you sold them or not or what happened. Yeah,
well, I have a production deal. Yeah, I have an overall development deal at Universal. So we're always developing TV shows, including the one I just mentioned. Yeah, I'm a producer on top of it, yeah.
Okay, so basically, with everything that's going on, you're having a good time.
I am. I'm having a great time. Thank you. And I hope everybody has a great time when they come out to see the show.
And I want to remind them that they can go to the Beacon Theater. They have to get tickets. It's a hot ticket. The October 16th and 17th, Atlantic City. I'm giving you In Our Own Backyard, but you can always go online and find the whole list. That's November 26th. And at Foxwoods, too. So Chelsea is really busy, and the pandemic has not stopped her. And one of the few people who really can share her life, and it's real, and we all relate. Thank you so much. All the best to you. Good luck. And I look forward to talking to you again.
Oh, it's so nice to talk to you. Have a great day.
Take care, Chelsea. I'm Joan Hamburg, and you're listening to WABC.